All right, today I want to talk about the $2 trillion coronavirus stimulus package that Congress and the Senate are working on. In fact, the Senate passed it, and it's likely that today Congress will pass it as well. This is a crazy big number, and that's why I wrote it out like this, to really see all the zeros. Because usually they'll say 2 and they'll say trillion, but this is 2 trillion. It's a very, very large number. And I just wanted to talk about some of the differences here, because really what's happening is that arguments in the package is not whether we should do it, it's just how we should balance it. And the balance is coming from, do we help businesses, corporations, or do we give it to the people? And there's a little bit of both happening. So let me grab my paper here and really write it down, because in this stimulus package, what they were talking about is well, let's back up and say businesses are being hurt right now and people are being hurt, because what happens is when you have businesses have jobs which hire people, and so it goes like both ways here. In that businesses, in my opinion, are really just groups of people that are organized together to accomplish something. So these businesses have products and services that they're doing, and they need to hire people to do that. And so it's really not a political thing for me, it's just understanding how the economy works. So right now they're trying to do a little bit of both. I think it's weighed more on saving the businesses, because right now, with the coronavirus, we've shut down many businesses. It's like we've just told them not to work. I say I haven't told them anything, but it's that idea like, oh, you're a restaurant, you're closed today. Oh, you're a movie theater, you're closed. You're a gym, you're closed. And that closure is expanding. So by nature of the business closing, many of those you can't work from home. You're lucky if you can work from home, so that the people still have, really what it's about is the people still making money. But if the businesses are losing money because of all these shutdowns, they're looking at ways to save money by cutting jobs. So the federal government is stepping in, and the core idea of this stimulus is to help with this loss. Because when you lose money, you have something called cash. You have cash on hand. As a business owner, if you have $20,000 in cash in the bank and you're spending $10,000 a month, 2 months you run out of cash, your business is closed. You have to file bankruptcy. So this $2 trillion spending plan is really going to be several things. They're giving like $500 billion to these businesses, and it was hard to find the different sources, but basically this is going to become a lending program for these businesses, also for cities and states. There's 367 billion, those are big numbers, for retention funds for small businesses. This is to really help them with this cash flow problem, because depending on how long the coronavirus works, we're going to have cash flow issues. Like if I'm the restaurant owner and I'm told to close for 3 months, that's a lot of lost revenue. The problem is it's kind of like a plant. So if I have a little planter box here and I got my plant that's growing, it needs water, which is like your cash. If you stop watering it, how long will it last? That's your cash flow. And what we're trying to do is get that water in there, even if it's just a rescue program. We want to keep that plant alive, so that when we come out of this, it's still alive. Because if it's still alive, it can grow. The problem is if it dies completely, you have to start all over again. And so in many cases, what we're trying to, I think what the government's trying to do is save some businesses. Now, in many cases, they're still going to have to lay off people, but if they can come through it at least alive, they can more quickly recover. But if that restaurant, I keep picking on restaurants right now, but it just comes to mind. But if that restaurant dies completely, they have to go do something else. There is no more restaurant when you come back after this. So part of the goal is to save these businesses by giving them money. So they're going to give them temporary loans to get through this economically. I think they're going to give $130 billion to hospitals. That's really more essential probably for our health. Airlines were hit. I heard that at least $25 billion would go to the airlines. And again, that's so that they still exist when in a month from now. If they had if cash is so hard right now because I've heard that the airlines have slowed down by like 80-90% in some areas because people are just not traveling right now with this social distancing. So these loans will help keep them in business. And the businesses may have to cut back because, if you're a restaurant, you're not going to still pay payroll if you have all these people still coming in. So no matter what happens, we're still going to lose some jobs here, which is going to affect people's income. So on this flip side, what we see is that the people are going to get some help here, and in the form of a check. The government's now going to give us checks. So we've seen this where I've heard the word that it's about $1,200 per adult and $500 per child. That's going to be really helpful because let me relate this back to real estate. I've always said that the health of the real estate business is based on this right here, job market. So the better jobs we have, if I have a secure job, I feel good. I'm more willing to invest, to take risk if I know my job is secure, if I have a consistent income coming in. And right now that's all in jeopardy. We're hoping to save jobs. We know that we're going to see a spike in unemployment because some of these businesses can't avoid laying off people because there's just no work to do. And so outside of the checks, the unemployment insurances are larger as well. So the unemployment insurance is much bigger or longer to help people through this so that when we're on the backside of this coronavirus and disaster that's kind of unfolding, they'll be able to have money to get through it, or at least to survive through it. Maybe not thrive, but definitely try and survive. And hopefully the companies are still alive, like a plant, so that they may be in critical condition, but at least they're going to come out of this better. This is huge. Again, I wrote the number out because this is a huge number. This is twice as big as anything they did in the last recession. And in fact, they've learned a lot from that last recession back in 2008 that where they could help in different ways. So they're doing all these stimulus plans to really help the businesses, take care of some people in unemployment, give them this immediate check, because you know where that check's going to go? It's going to go towards that mortgage, one of their biggest payments that they have, maybe towards some food and other things, and we'll survive through this. Now, depending on where you are, your jobs can be affected, and depending on how long this lasts, the more people will be affected by that. But you'll start to see spikes in unemployment. Now, if this is truly gone in a couple weeks, this will all resolve itself, and much of this money probably won't be spent. If this goes on for months, we're definitely going to find a balance between social distancing and work, because some people will probably elect to take the risk, and we'll see how that works out. It's going to be interesting. A lot of people right now, as far as real estate, are electing to stay home during this 2-3 week social isolation that we're doing. The social distancing is taking effect, so many people are deciding to stay home instead of looking at houses right now. Many people who have had their house on the market are saying, I don't want anybody to walk through. So if we can do it through 3D tours and virtual tours, we'll do that as far as real estate. But kind of right now you feel like everyone's kind of just frozen, because what we don't know, what it feels like to me is we don't know how bad it's going to get. We don't know how long it's going to get. I think everybody in their mind's hoping that it's just lasts a few weeks and then we'll see. But no matter what happens, I think in a few weeks we'll know a lot more clearly of how this thing's all going to play out. We hope that in real estate, though, before this happened, everything was going so well. I mean, businesses were going gangbusters here. We had record employment, so our unemployment was the lowest that it's ever been, and everybody was happy. Things were going really good. That's now turned to uncertainty. The job unemployment hasn't hit yet, really, except for some of the service industries right now. If the businesses can start creating business again within a month, this will be minimal. If it takes a year, this will be more substantial. It's kind of my 2 cents on it. Right now, real estate has slowed as everyone kind of like a deer in the headlights. We're like, what's going on here? Let's hold off. But I think within a month or two, we're going to be like, all right, let's just do it. Let's go forward, because the interest rates, that's another thing. The interest rates, right? Interest rates are incredibly low and dropped. So that's going to help with affordability of housing. On the backside, the federal government's giving a lot of money to the banks, which is not included in this number, which is helping. That money's available for all of us so that if we need it, we can spend it and get through. Okay, so that's it for the day. Please comment. You need a comment so that I can know what you're thinking, and you can tell me what you think is going to happen from this stimulus, if it's going to work or we're going to need more. Let us know. Thanks for watching. Hey, it's David here. Thank you again for watching this video. I really appreciate you supporting the content and your involvement. Please share it with your family and friends so we can keep giving you good stuff. And of course, as always, we are real estate brokers here in the state of Utah. We would love to help you, and we have a huge network outside if you need help there too to find you the best realtor. But give us a call or direct message us below. Thanks.